Welcome everyone to Dragon Quest FM, where we talk about and obsess over Dragon Quest. I'm Austin,
I'm BJ.
and this week it was Dragon Quest Day. This
Yeah.
episode might even go up on Dragon
Go
Quest
up on
Day,
Dragon Quest Day. Yeah, I
possibly.
think so.
So happy Dragon Quest Day, everybody.
Hey, happy Dragon Quest Day.
Uh, of course, Dragon Quest XII was announced and
Yep.
shown off quite a bit. There's also a new Monsters game
Yeah.
announced. It's pretty exciting. Today's episode is admittedly going to be pretty much just hyper focused on Dragon Quest XII.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But we will talk about that Monsters game, I'm sure, like next week or sometime, like
Yeah.
just dedicate like a whole episode to it, maybe. Um, so, if you have not had time to watch the trailer for Dragon
It's
Quest XII,
yep.
go do it first of all, and then come back here and watch us talk about it.
Yeah, for real. And the entire announcement video is only like 9 or 10 minutes long, where this was the only disappointing thing for me that came out of today was that it was so short. That I was hoping for a longer presentation with more stuff.
It
But what
was
we did get, I liked.
it was a weird one, yeah, and I've seen that complaint because now we're recording this like a few hours out from this, so we're not just brand spanking new fresh into this. So we've got
Right.
to see some like reactions. And I was seeing that too. A lot of people were talking about they were disappointed in it. They, oh, sorry, they had announced already how long it was going to be, so I wasn't like,
Okay.
so I kind of went in already thinking like, oh, it's going to be a short and sweet. They're going to show
Mhm.
12 and probably nothing else, and we're going to get out of there kind of deal.
Right.
Um, and so I wasn't necessarily disappointed, but it was weird
Yeah, it's
that
weird.
it's 40 years and this is like it. And I think maybe a lot of people were comparing it to like Pokemon, because
Hmm.
Pokemon hit 30 and we got like a 35-minute presentation, I
Yeah.
think. And even just by previous years of
Of
Dragon Quest
what
Day
they've done for
standards,
DQ
yeah,
Day. Yeah.
it was weird. I think some of it, I'm drinking some water because I feel like I'm gonna cough somewhere. I don't know if part of it was that they wanted this to just focus really on 12
Yeah.
because they announced like before it they announced some like cool sales things,
Hmm.
celebratory sales things. They announced like Dragon Quest 11S Definitive Edition, Switch 2 edition.
Oh, I
Um
actually missed that one. I hadn't seen
yeah.
the announcement for that.
It had leaked a while back,
Yeah.
and I kind of expected it to be like official today.
Oh, yeah.
It comes in like September. It's a game key card, which is dumb. So I won't be getting it, but yeah, I mean, I guess Dragon Quest has its own Skyrim, and so
Yeah.
it's
It's
gonna
got to put it
keep
out on
Skyriming it
everything.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first thing I guess we should address from the thing,
Right.
they said straight up Dragon Quest 12 Flames of Fate is gone.
Is dead.
It's dead.
What we knew about is completely gone. That they needed to go in a completely different direction with, which
They
actually surprised me a lot.
they started from scratch. That was a direct quote. He said we
Yep.
started from scratch. And I don't know how literal that is
Right.
because I suspect that maybe the protagonist is the same, but we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I it's called Dragon Quest 12 Beyond Dreams now.
Mhm.
Um, just right away, let me say that I'm a little disappointed that they scrapped it because Flames of Fate, like that opening with the fire and just
Mhm.
everything else, looked really cool. They said, "Hey, it's going to be a darker Dragon
Yep.
Quest game." It they really hyped it up, and I
Yeah.
was at 5 years in, like I was looking forward to
Ready to see what that was.
this game, yeah. And then instead we got what honestly feels almost a little too safe, I feel like, for
It does
a
feel safe.
Dragon Quest game.
Like, and they
Um,
said on this one, Yuji Horii said that the production on Flames of Fate that they it didn't feel like what a mainline Dragon Quest game should be. And so they wanted it to be brighter And so the I think it was the darkness is what I read between the lines. It was that it was a dark game and they didn't like going in that direction was kind of what I inferred from it.
That's kind of what I got from it as well. I think too, maybe you see, I don't want to get too deep here, but like you see, like in pop culture in general, right? When times are bright and happy, TV shows tend to eventually start being a little darker.
Yeah.
They might start dark, but then if life gets too dark, media kind of pivots and tries to be
Yeah.
happy because people don't want darkness in their relaxation time.
Yeah.
And so I do wonder if that's a part of it. If it was just like when they announced it was 2021, yeah, there was a global pandemic going on and things weren't like fantastic, but still, it's kind of like you have to imagine that maybe started when things were a little bit happier.
Yeah.
And then
Things
I
were looking up at that point. Like we came through a really dark time and it was looking a little hopeful for the future. And here we are a few years later, and that is not the case in most places. So I understand not them looking at it and being like, Dragon Quest doesn't drag people down.
yeah.
And so I get why they did it, but it does look safe. Like that is the probably the best way I've seen somebody put it is it looks safe.
And I don't I love Dragon Quest specifically because it's bright and happy most of the
Yes.
time. I mean, I've said that time and time again. I like the humor in it and things like that. So it's like, yeah, I don't necessarily want like some gritty, Dark Souls Dragon Quest game.
No.
But at the same time, Dragon Quest has not been afraid to get kind of dark before,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked
Yeah.
that I liked the possibility of having something kind of different here. So I'm just initially a little upset that just we're never going to get that. I'm hopeful
Yeah.
that one day we'll get kind of like that like episode 9 script that leaked
Yeah.
that honestly sounded way better than what Rise of
Yep.
Skywalker was. Um
Yep.
like I'm wondering if one day we'll get like a book or a collection or even just like them sharing
Some
screenshots
videos or screenshots, yeah, of what
of
it
what they had
was.
in mind. Yeah, I do just kind of naturally moving it over to the protagonist reveal. I do wonder if they kept the same protagonist,
Really, I hadn't even thought about
because
that.
the protagonist, he's got those like, like black spots under his eyes. He looks sick. He looks like he's not healthy at all. He looks like he stays online too much. Um, and I mean, seriously, I'm just like, this guy looks like he's definitely on some 4chan forums, like 13 hours a day. And I hate the new protagonist. I guess let's address that elephant in the room. I hate him. I think it's the worst protagonist we've ever had. He looks derpy. I hate his haircut. I especially hate his eyes. I hate everything about him. Um,
The only thing I don't mind that it'll grow on me. I don't mind the protagonist look, but I do not like his hair. Would be fine with me, except there is a central spike that kind of wibble wobbles when he's moving around, and it just looks like he's got like a Majin Buu thing from Dragon Ball going on, where it's just wibbly wobbling on the top, and I hate it. Like
he
there
just
needs to be a split right there.
his like posture, like in the screenshot they shared of like his full body with his like hunched
Yeah,
over shoulders and just his eyes, like are
I
what
don't know.
get
This
me.
I his eyes never even stood out to me. They just look like
Yeah,
eyes.
I I don't know. I don't like anything about him. I just I've seen people say they have a theory already that the reason he looks so tired beyond dreams, he can't sleep, and they said during
Yeah.
the stream he's been troubled by like his dreams or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe he's like, he lacks sleep, and so that's why he has those pits under his eyes and looks that way and looks kind of slouchy. Um, and I think that's a neat theory. I think that's a good theory. But because of how like I don't know, just weird and edgy he looks, I do wonder if that was the like original face and design they had for the darker version of 12.
Right.
And
I can
and
see
and
that
Toriyama passed away, but they were like, okay, we're still going to use his character designs and
because
everything.
they did specifically say that character designs and music were going to be Toriyama's and Sugiyama's. That
Did you
We
notice when Yuji Horii was talking about Toriyama, his face got just a little sadder for like a fraction of a second?
I didn't notice
He's
that.
like smiling and like probably reading a teleprompter, and he's
Right.
like his expression just changes. You probably don't even notice it unless you just like obsessively rewatch this over and over again the way I did.
Right.
Just like the whole stream, not just this moment. But yeah, he looked a little sad. It broke my heart a little bit
Oh, I'll have to
watching
go
it
back and pay
because
attention to that. I didn't.
if you look at like his eyes and like his mouth, I feel like he just falters for just like
Mm,
a fraction of a second that you kind of notice it and like you're like, oh, he's talking about like his friends that are
his
dead. Like
friends, yeah.
but he's having to be like PR, you know.
Yeah. But I'm
It
glad because you and I talked about this a while back that we weren't sure how they were going to proceed, like how much of it was done at that point. And I think that being able to progress with those designs and with those songs and score, I think that that's a really good sign for what they're looking for out of this game. But
yeah.
it's weird because they were already working on the darker game with some of these, so I'm curious on how what's being ported over into certain areas and what certain parts of the game will look like and sound
Yeah.
like.
And I mean, the game looks gorgeous. Like it
Mm-hmm.
starts off by showing like different
Really pretty.
environments and it looks really pretty. And there's some stuff with the hero running through like kind of like a jungle field and then like a
Mm-hmm.
beach and different things. And like it looks really pretty. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, it looks really nice. I mean, I can't say that I'm not happy that it looks brighter and happier because it does
Right.
look really good.
Like it looks, I don't, but like it looks so in HD, the way that they did it, like just the depth and everything on it. I will 100% be playing this one on PS5 or
Yeah.
PS6, whichever one is out by the time that this gets out, since they scrapped it initially and had to start over. So we're looking at years and years before we get our hands on this, I'm sure.
Yeah. It does. The fact that they have shared as much of it as they have, I am at least cautiously optimistic that it's a bit along in terms of development
Right.
because they did show some like what basically looked like cinematics. They showed some
Mm-hmm.
environments. They showed some what I think are probably like demos of like the in-game engine with him running around and
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have to assume that they're quite a bit further in than they were back whenever they announced Flames of
The
Fate.
original logo and teaser trailer.
Yeah, I just being the person that I am, I still think it's going to easily be 2 or 3 years, maybe even like 2030.
I
Um,
expect it to be 28 is what I figured looking at this was that we're looking at least another 18 months. Like
how how
at the lowest that we're going to see it.
how bummed out are you going to be if you're in your 50s playing Dragon Quest 12?
I think you need to shut your mouth. I think you need to be quiet because that's 7 years from now.
I mean,
That'll
I
be
know.
twenty thirty three.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
So
saying.
if I'm in my 50s by the time this comes out, it had better be. That's a 13-year difference when they
That's
announced Flames of Fate. So it had better be the best game that I've ever played if we're
yeah.
waiting until 2033 to play this.
Yeah. But because of what they showed and everything, I am hopeful that like we're getting it. And they even said during the
Yeah.
stream, like the original development, you know, hit a lot of hitches and had some problems. And they were pretty forthcoming with that. Like
Yeah.
they said that in interviews like over the last couple of years, talked about
Right.
different problems going on. And so like I get it, but it does look good. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like the protagonist. I am hopeful. They showed some other characters. They showed
Right.
um a girl with pink hair and like a
Mm-hmm.
scarf that looks like she has like a scooter to
Yeah. It
ride
looks
and
like a
is like all
Tinker kind of
technical. Yeah.
character,
And she has a robot.
which I
And
love.
then
I love the design of that robot. When it popped out, I got really excited. I was like, oh,
and
we're going to have a
then
robot in our party.
and we don't know if they're if he's
We
just her
don't.
sidekick or if he's in your party. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
he
would be
might be
cool.
an attack kind of thing you pull out for different abilities.
And then there's like a little green dragon man who looks kind of like Franklin the Turtle, You remember Franklin?
I love
Hey, it's
him.
Franklin.
So Jennifer and I,
Um,
Jennifer and I talk about Franklin all the time
yeah,
because and this is where I'm going to get like real surly for a second. Like those slow children at play kind of like plastic, like 3 foot tall little guy with a flag that's out by the
yeah.
that
He
they
looks
put
like
out by the
Franklin.
road. He looks
Yeah,
like Franklin.
yeah.
And the neighbors that just moved in over here put one in their yard, and I have to look at it all the time, and it's hideous. And Jennifer's like, "Why do you hate Franklin the turtle?" And I'm like, "I don't know why I hate it so much, but it looks like Franklin the turtle, little turtle guy is what she calls it." And then we realized it looked like Franklin. But I'm like, I don't know why it makes me so mad that they just put that in their front yard, but I hate it. And
Yeah.
but it does look
Well,
like Franklin the turtle. But we're always talking about Franklin because of that.
yeah. I haven't seen them in yards. I mean, I know a lot of people with like young kids, they put them out by the road to like,
Yeah,
give people heads up, like drivers, like, hey, there's kids here.
I'm sure that's what it is, but for some reason that kind of thing bugs me.
Yeah.
And
Somebody gave us one. We have one. Somebody
oh,
gave
do
us one
you?
when our kids were little. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my children used it to float on in our pool.
Oh, okay.
Um, and now
See, that's a good use for it.
now it's just out back somewhere. I don't know specifically where it is at this moment, but yeah, it's probably in the shed or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Jennifer gets weird at me because I get weird when parent with parents and stuff like that sometimes, like on like nailed it or not nailed it. Uh is it cake where they're like, I'm dedicating this to my kid. One night I was in a real bad mood. It's like, why do you do this for your kid? Why don't you do it for yourself? Like, do something for yourself for a change. And she was like, why do you hate kids? I'm like, I don't hate kids. And then this one, I was apparently in a bad mood when we talked to when they moved in. And she was like, why do you hate it? I was like, I don't hate it so much. I hope those kids don't get run over, but I don't know why those parents have to make it my problem. And she's like, good Lord, man. And
it's
so,
it is hilarious though because Grace and I have always talked about it reminds us of Franklin too.
yeah.
Like when somebody gave us that, we were like, oh, it's Franklin. But it doesn't have like a turtle shell. It's
No,
just
it doesn't.
green. It's green, so it makes you think turtle. And like
Uh huh.
it actually took me a while. Like I can very distinctly remember having a conversation with my wife where I was like, I would call it the turtle, and she's like,
She
it's
did
just a
too.
man.
Jennifer did.
She's like, it's just a man. And I like had to look at it for a minute, and I'm like, you're right. It doesn't have a shell. Like in my brain, because it was like slow, children at play, and
Yeah.
it's that color
You get a
green. I'm
turtle.
like,
Like
it's a
that's what it
turtle. Hold it, telling you
I mean,
slow
it
down.
should be a turtle, but
And
it's a little kid.
yeah, it's
But yeah,
crazy.
so but this
We
guy
got
that
way
that
off topic.
yeah, so I had to get us into a tangent on that one. But the little dragon guy looks so cool. I love him so much.
He he
And
he looks pretty neat. Yeah, I'll give you that.
and I'm curious. I've seen a couple of people mention it online already that he might be the protagonist in the dream sections.
Yeah.
That he's got nearly the same hair and a very similar outfit on
Yeah, well,
to the
he
protagonist.
has the same exact sword as the
Okay,
protagonist. The armor is different,
different,
but
but it
similar.
it it matches in color scheme and tone.
And it's white instead of black, but he does have the white poof there.
Yeah,
Um on his hair. I think I don't want to get too excited about it because I
right.
like that idea. Like the fact that you could play through Dragon Quest XII as a Dragon Man,
Yeah, I love
basically
it.
the whole time sounds cool. And also not having to look at that dumb protagonist for most of the game is
There is
also a
that.
bonus for me. So if he's mostly just Mr. Green, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
Um, I just my main concern, I guess, with this is that like I know I've joked around with you and on like Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff too about how chrono triggery it all is. But
it
it is
does.
weird because we have pink haired girl with the scarf and the technical stuff, just like Luca.
She had purple hair. Thank you.
We have purplish pink. We have a robot that, granted, the design in Dragon Quest XII reminds me more of like Blue Dragon
Yeah,
than Robo from Chrono Trigger, but still. And then you have green guy that like as soon as they showed the robot and then the green guy, I was like, oh my God, Robo and Frog. Like they just this is Chrono Trigger. Um, but
and
like
I'm okay with that. Like I love Chrono Trigger so much that having even an homage to that is okay.
my biggest problem though with it is that with the game right now. And again, this is going off of like a 1 minute, 30-second trailer. So I don't mean to be like too doom and gloomy right out the gate. But like, and they said we're going to do new things that we haven't done with Dragon Quest before,
Yeah.
which is why I'm like, okay, switching over into like a Dragon Man, like that would
Mm-hmm.
be new. Um, and I do really love that premise. Like, I think that's a cool idea. But my biggest problem is that in addition to it already feeling safe,
Yeah.
it's taking essentially the cast from Chrono Trigger, making them a little jankier. And then it feels like, because of Beyond Dream and everything, it feels like a very similar story to Dragon Quest VI. And
Mm.
so
Could see
it's
it.
like, it all goes back to him playing it too safe. It's like, it's designs that I feel like we've gotten already
Mm.
in a story that I feel like we've gotten already in a world that I honestly feel like we've gotten already. And so, I mean, because it looks like a lot like 11, let's be honest.
It
Um,
does. I mean, part of that is graphic style and
yeah,
cartoony HD stylized graphics. But I think that, yeah, I was thinking the same thing, that it looked a lot like the initial 11 trailers.
yeah. And so, I don't know. All of that is to just say, like, I feel like it's just way too, it all looks way too like familiar and safe at this point. Like, I'm very underwhelmed by it all. If you had
Mm.
told me Dragon Quest 12 was going to get revealed and I was going to be like meh about most of it, I would
Yeah.
not have believed you. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, I
Hmm.
really do. I hate the protagonist design, and more than anything, it's just like characters we've seen, Chrono Trigger characters in Dragon Quest 6 setting. And I'm just like, I
Mm.
mean, Chrono Trigger also had dream stuff, but like, specifically, it feels very much like six, going
Mm.
between the dream world and the real world and
Yeah.
everything. I mean, six had like monster catching, and so I think there is a cool premise there of, okay, if the protagonist falls through into this dream world, becomes like a dragon man, and that's like the bulk of the game, like that would be
Right.
pretty cool. Um, and I really am excited about that idea, so I hope it pans out. But and it's not just like a totally separate character. I think
I mean, that would be
we're
a
just gonna
really
have to wait and
cool
see.
thing of going back and forth. You bringing up Chrono Trigger when you did earlier this morning when we were talking about it, it reminded me of, made me think of, if the dreams are going to be like the time travel areas, like that they're going to be so that the actual environments and things that you go into and deal with are going to be individual dreams that you're having to traverse in different times and kind of link them together, which I
Yeah,
think would be pretty cool. And to see how one would impact another, kind of like the different times in Chrono Trigger interacted with one another. Like, I think
yeah,
that structure would work really cool on how, like, if you turn a nightmare into a dream by going over into this dream and changing something, like that whole thing, that whole mechanic sounds like it would be fun to me. And that is complete speculation, but that was the first thing that my brain went to when I was thinking about dreams.
yeah. And
And
and I am happy, if, for people who have listened to all of our episodes before, if you want to go back probably like 2 years ago and we were talking about what we wanted to see in Dragon Quest 12, one of my things was that I wanted some non-human characters.
right,
And so I did kind of get my wish in that. And maybe that's why I'm excited by that idea of playing as this
yeah,
Dragon Man. Because like, I've always liked, like, Final Fantasy has done it, but specifically like in 9,
mm-hmm.
it's like most of that cast is not human at all.
No,
And like, everybody's a little weird. Even Zidane has a monkey tail.
he's got a tail.
And
Yeah, it's like
I
even
guess
he's not human.
I guess you have Dagger and Steiner are like the only human characters.
And Steiner's questionable whether he's a human
You
or some sort
you
of weird like puppet man. I
you
don't
don't
know.
know
His
what's
face is like,
you don't know
I don't
what's
know what's
under that
under that
armor.
armor. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Jinx.
Yeah. And so um like, I am excited that it's, characters that aren't necessarily human. And if we do get to play
Right.
as a dragon man and a robot, like, I mean, I'm gonna like that.
Yeah.
So it's not all doom and gloom from seeing this trailer or anything. Right now, it's just a weird situation all around with them scrapping this
Yeah.
game that we've all kind of been used to the idea of for like 5 years
Yeah.
now.
Like we've set our heads on that. Like real fans have seen that and kind of latched on to what we want out of that and what we hope to see. And it's interesting to me that they completely scrapped it. Like it's going to be weird moving into this being what Dragon Quest XII is.
Yeah. I
And the logo looks traditional now too. They the other one they had changed it to where it didn't look like a traditional Dragon Quest logo, and
yeah.
this one has way more of a standard feel to it than
It looks
the
like a
12
mix of
did.
10, like the OG like base game 10
Right.
and 7 to me is what it looks like.
Mm,
If you like merge those, I don't know.
yeah.
I probably sound a little crazy, but that's what I was when I
Yeah.
first saw it, I was kind of reminded of 10, and then after a minute I was like, well, I know it's not a ship, but it kind of looks like the ship from
Yeah. But
7.
I'm
I've been I tried to stay away from it, like because we this was announced like earlier, and then
yeah.
I made some posts on my personal like Blue Sky and Twitter accounts about it and stuff, and I was kind of just waiting before we recorded the episode. I was like, I'm gonna give it a while, and then maybe right before we record, I'll see what other people are saying
Yeah.
because I knew how I felt, and so it does feel like reactions are very similar to kind of, I mean, there's people who love it and are excited, but
Yeah.
it does feel like the reactions are a little underwhelmed to mixed overall
Yeah.
right now, where it's just like, and I do feel a little validation because talking to multiple people about how they
Right.
also hate the protagonist, um, because
It's
I wasn't sure if that was going to be a hot take or not, but it seems like a lot of people don't like him. So
he's so edgy. It looks like he's one of the data error in the Geek to Geek Discord this morning said it like he looks like the edgy Eric type character who would be a sidekick, who would be a side character rather than the hero themselves. And so I'm like, yeah, he kind of does look like one of the brigand type
man,
characters you pick up in a slum somewhere.
I see. I don't think of Eric as really edgy, but Terry, like in 6, like I
Terry,
think of
yeah,
Terry. I definitely got Terry vibes from him. Um,
I can't remember who said it. I think it may have been Capsule J in the Geek to Geek Discord that said it's a shame that Dragon Quest heroes tend to be silent because this guy looks like he has something to say. And I was like, yeah, this guy like I feel like this guy would be mouthy is
yeah,
the way he
he,
comes across to me.
he has something to say, and what he has to say is that he's really excited about the UFC fight at the White House.
Oh, tell me that's not a real thing.
No, oh yeah, dude, they
Oh,
built like a whole arena in front of the White House yesterday. It's a real thing. And the Dragon Quest 12 protagonist is super
it's
pumped to
so
watch it.
yeah. Oh my god.
Um,
Um,
but yeah, I mean that's just I don't know. My like I'm hoping that maybe he starts off as this kind of like, oh, I can't sleep and I'm angry at the world
yeah.
kind of guy, and then he
Right.
turns into a dragon and becomes a lot more tolerable.
Right.
And that's
Like
kind of
that
the
would be
dynamic that we're gonna see here. Because I think that would be more tolerable.
yeah, I mean I can see that where once he's in a dream, he's not quite so angry about not sleeping or something like that.
Yeah,
And
and I'm actually grateful that he's silent because like Trails games tend to have this kind of character.
right.
Um, and I cannot stand them. A lot of times they're like really OP in combat, but like I
Yeah.
hate them. Like Agate in Trails in the Sky, or
Yeah.
like Aaron in the Trails Through Daybreak.
Right.
Um, and like I hate them, they sound really angry and they like curse
Uh
a lot, and
yeah.
and they're trying to sound tough, and it just comes off so like fake and cheesy to me, and I just like cannot stand it. So like personally,
Right.
I hope that he stays silent because I would 1,000,000% prefer him just being quiet and looking edgy, as opposed to them trying to be like, look at me, I'm cursing, I'm edgy. The world
Right.
doesn't understand me because
And
I say the F word.
and I don't mind that kind of thing in games. Like it really doesn't put me off if it makes sense and feels like it
Oh,
should.
I,
But
I
in
don't
Dragon
mind
Quest, I don't want it.
I don't mind characters cursing. I don't mind people
Yeah.
cursing. I mean, you've heard me curse plenty of times, but like it's whenever it's like it's the like those games specifically, it comes across as like when you're like 11 and you've like learned a
Oh
curse
yeah.
word and you're like dropping it all the time in
You're
front of your
trying to figure
friends,
out how to use it.
where you're just like where it's just like you're putting on a big show. Like that's kind of how
Yeah,
it comes across in those Trails games for a lot of those
I can
characters,
see
where I'm
that.
like, we get it, you're tough.
Right.
Let's like I'll just move on. And so and this guy looks like one of those characters, so
It kind of does.
I hope we don't get him talking.
I will say about this does fix one thing that I complained about. I will remember this game's subtitle. This does not have one of those pretentious, hard to remember
Oh, like alliterations.
subtitles like the alliterative ones. Yeah, where it's Beyond Dreams. It's like I can remember that. It's not Revelations of
Reverie.
Ratchety River thing. What was it? I honestly can't remember.
Okay, it's different depending on if you're in the PAL region or North America. It's it is revelation of reverie,
Okay,
right?
right.
Reverie of revelation.
No, I think it's Revelation of. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. This is why I'm glad
It
that
the reason I can't think of it is because there's two different versions.
it changed. Yeah,
I own the PAL version of DQ6
right.
because the North
Same.
American was like stupid expensive. I have like for collector's purposes the strategy guide for the North America version
Right.
of it, and so I can never remember. They're they're
But
they're two different titles, but yeah,
this
I
backs up my point in that if you can't remember the subtitle, it's not a great subtitle. And this one actually has a subtitle that both tells what the game is about and is easy to remember.
that's true. I also feel like it was an underwhelming subtitle though, because Flames of Fate kind of goes hard,
It does.
and
It does.
Beyond Dream sounds like a Barry Manilow song.
Fair. I mean, it surprised me that it was short. I did expect one of the longer ones, like what is it, Luminaries of the Legendary Line or something like that. That's
Yeah,
11,
that
and so
no,
seeing
that's two.
beyond
That's two.
that's two,
11 is Echoes of an Elusive Age, and you
right?
play as the
As the
Luminary.
Luminary, I cannot keep these straight, and this is what I mean. Like this is I cannot remember these subtitles to save my life. So Beyond Dreams is
Is like
helpful for
perfect.
me. It's like
Yeah,
I know what game this is, and
yeah.
but I'm glad about that. And but I'm also like you said, Flames of Fate went hard. Like that one's easy to remember and told you like it was going to be an intense ride.
Yeah.
This one seems like it's going to be pretty chill for the
Seems
time
pretty
being.
chill, and I don't mind a
No, I don't
chill.
mind chill.
I don't mind chill. Um, it looks good. I think more than anything, it's just one of those things that I, maybe you, maybe people listening, and just fandom as a whole kind of just has to get used to because
Yeah,
it is one of those things where it's like you've been told for the last 5 years this is what we're doing,
yeah,
and then not really given any information on it, and then all of
right.
a sudden they're like, "Hey, we scrapped all of that.
Yeah,
Instead, we have this, and now we're going to actually show it to you for real." And so it's just like, I mean,
yeah,
I think we're all a little like in shock,
yeah.
like
Because it is
collectively.
not what we expected. Like this is nowhere near what anybody expected. As far as I know, nobody was thinking that they had completely scrapped it and gone to a new game.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's I was also surprised, we were getting close to the end of the time we have, but I was also
Oh yeah.
surprised at the monsters announcement because I called wanting a monsters announcement. So
You did, yeah.
I was really excited about this. That when I saw it, I was like, I was right. This is great. They took away the number. It's not going to be DQ Monsters 4. It's just Dragon Quest Monsters.
But they've done that before with
They've
monsters
done it with
games.
Caravan Heart
Yeah.
and a couple of others. So it was interesting to me that they because the last one had 3 on it.
Mhm.
So I would at least in Japan, it didn't
In
in
Japan.
America.
Yeah.
And
And this one still could, because you have to remember this stream was for a global audience
it's
today.
true. So it could still in Japan. And I was really surprised at the Bianca and Nera choice that is going to have the pair of them as it. But I was excited. I cannot wait. Seeing that it was on Switch 2 and all the platforms all at once, and especially Switch 2 because that's probably what I'll be playing it on.
And it's
Uh,
coming soon.
and
They
it's
said
coming
before
soon.
12, and it says coming soon. I assume it's because they're saving it for either the state of play next week or
Right.
the Nintendo Direct that
Hmm.
inexplicably will come. I'm about to cough. um, like in June,
Yeah.
but um, but yeah, as soon as they showed that, I was like, oh, BJ gets his Monsters game.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I liked the weird little dog platypus thing at the very end of it that they
Yeah, it looks
showcased this
cool.
new monster. I was like, that looks weird enough for me. And then saw it. I was like, what is it? The Withered World was this one? Was the
Withered World,
subtitle?
I think. Yeah,
And so I was like, okay, I can go with that, see where it is. But it's neat that they went for the villain the last time, and now we're going back to heroes in the
yeah.
monsters games.
We yeah, I definitely want to talk about this a lot more because we're almost out of time today, but there's like a whole lot of stuff I want to say about it.
Yeah,
Um, so I think I might just save my thoughts for
right.
next time. But
But
I'm glad there's a new Monsters game. I mean, I'm glad for you. I like Monsters games, but like
yeah,
especially I'm happy for you because I know how much you love them and
yeah,
I knew that that's what you were wanting. And so whenever they tacked that on there at the very end
yeah,
of the broadcast, I was like, "Oh, BJ gets what he wants."
yeah. I was excited about that, and I was a little sad that that was the only thing that they announced. That
They
I
just
was
dent.
just
Yeah.
over. Yeah, they just did a quick trailer, and the monsters going through the monsters on the trailer itself, where they just kind of moved through to the logo. I was like, they're taking a lot of time with of their presentation up with just making all these monsters go away. I was like, it's a monsters game. I was like, oh yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
clicked right before it had the thing. I was like, they are taking a lot of time revealing this and not really showing anything
that was
to
kind
the
of how I
monsters.
that was kind of how I felt at the very beginning when they started with one, with the year, and then two.
Yeah,
Like my heart started to race literally because I was like, oh, they're gonna do 12 and they're gonna be like
yeah,
2027.
yep.
I was like, that's what they're
That's
doing.
what I thought
And then they
too.
didn't. And then it just opened up and it was like, hi, this is and I was like,
And
oh, well,
I get it for the 40th anniversary. I understand why they would show all of them like that, but it really surprised me because I figured it was going to be a focus on 1 and 12 was where I thought it was going to go. I didn't expect them to take that time to show all of them because
yeah,
it's the 40th anniversary of Dragon Quest
yeah,
that it is, not the others.
yeah.
So,
Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this week's episode. Please let us know comments on Spotify. You can comment if you're watching this on YouTube. Let us know on Blue Sky and Twitter. We're at Dragon Quest FM at those places. Let us know what your thoughts on Dragon Quest 12 are already.
yep,
And thanks to everybody that I've talked to, like Capsule J, Brittany, just various people that I've talked to online already that shared their thoughts with me
yep,
um, because it was fun talking to all of y'all about it too. But everybody else share your thoughts with us.
yeah. Please let
If
us
you want to
know.
find me personally, I'm on Blue Sky and Twitter at Dragon Quest.
And I'm on Blue Sky at bjkgames.com and Twitter at bjkgames. And you can find the podcast on Patreon at patreon.com/DragonQuestFM.
Thanks everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.